I thought of making this video a long time ago, but I never did because I know how people are. They won't believe it, and they'll just spout their bullshit. Evil, disgusting, hateful bullshit. But I guess it needs to be said. Undertakerfreak recently made a video about how there is no excuse in the world for cheating on someone. And I agree with that, because I don't personally believe in, this all-loving relationship, but there's no excuse for hurting someone like that. There's no excuse for that utter betrayal and other misuse of their trust and things like that. If you do that, then you have no soul. You have no moral high ground. You are repugnant. But, okay, years ago, this was a long time ago, I say was, but I still don't believe it to this day. I should say my ex claimed that she cheated on me, to try to hurt me, that she was sick of me, that she'd been cheating on me for a while, and that, she just finally had the nerve to end it, and that, all this time I've been seeing other guys, blah, blah, blah. And my response was, I don't believe you. Now, when you say something like that, most of the times you think, oh, you're in denial, you don't want to believe it's true. I didn't believe it because I sincerely thought nobody else is going to put up with this skank but me. Yes, I cared about her, but that is because of, I don't know, something else. Maybe biology, maybe just because of my personality, maybe because of some mystical love force, I don't know. But no, I firmly believed that no one else would be able to put up with her even enough to have a fling. And I told her that. I told her that straight up. Nobody else will love you. Nobody else will put up with your bullshit. And most likely, if you are with some other guy, they would eventually hurt you. Either emotionally or physically, because you are a bitch and you are a whore. And I told her to get her shit together. If she has a problem with me, talk it out with me. I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to have that kind of discussion with you. But don't pull this bullshit on me. I am not going to put up with it. And, went back and forth. She thought that she was the one in control, and I cut her off. Just stopped talking to her. And, that's how I live my life. I live my life in accordance to my principles, and nothing more. And I told her straight up, the last thing I said to her, and I guess that's the official breakup monologue, is that there are worse things in life than being alone. At least on my end, I understood that. I don't know if she ever did. To my knowledge, to this day, she is still just going on between guy after guy. But meanwhile, she claims to be bisexual and transsexual, la la la. She's got all kinds of problems and shit like that. All this drama and bullshit. And there are a lot of people like that. And they are the scum of the earth. They are just a bacteria. They only infect us with their line of bullshit and lies. And, the way I look at it is, yeah, there are worse things in life than being alone. And some people will be like, oh, that just means you can't get somebody, blah, blah, blah. No, that literally means, what's the point to living if you don't have your principles? You don't live for somebody else. Yes, you want other people around you to care about you, to pick you up when you're down, to, have someone to support you, to have someone to be there for you. But you don't need that companionship. It's just nice to have. It's nice to have people you can trust and admire and look up to and help build you up to be a better person. But if they're not going to be able to do any of that, why the fuck do you need them? So, there is no reason to live for somebody else's sake. There is no reason to care about whether or not you're in a relationship or whether or not you're on good terms with your friends or your family. When they stop giving you that positive feedback, you need to cut them off. And I know that's easier said than done. I understand that there is an emotional stigma there that isn't easy to, just get rid of. That's why I don't look down on people that put up with abusive relationships. I don't understand it emotionally. I just cannot comprehend it. But I empathize with them because I know that most people don't have that. Most people don't have that outlook that simply states that I live to make the world a better place. I live to make myself better. I live to make other people better. I don't give a fuck about the individual. I don't give a fuck about, someone's personal attachment to me. I only care about whether or not tomorrow will be better than today. Because guess what? Life is pretty horrible. And that's what you should be concerned about. You shouldn't be concerned about the little pawns that crawl around floating in between your life. I have come and lost friends all the time, precisely because I get banned so much. And I have lost many good friends because of some other jackass's will to get rid of me. And I've lost all contact with them. Good friends. People that actually cared about my day. People actually that wanted to hear how I felt. And we could share each other's lives and, actually build a bond that improved both of our lives. And moderators didn't give a fuck about that. That's part of the reason moderators are so evil. But at the end of the day, it's whether or not you adhere to your principles and whether or not you see them coming to fruition. That's all it's about. Everything else is just banter. Everything else is just filler. The people in your life should be there to strengthen your principles, not be in conflict with them, not somehow change you. It should be there to enhance what you already had inside of you. And I believe that's what they mean by loving yourself. I don't think that means literally, thinking that you have this uber confidence, that you're somehow think you're this fantastic individual who doesn't need anybody else and is purely successful and wonderful on your own. I don't believe that's what loving yourself means. I believe loving yourself means that you care enough about what you've found out to be right and wrong to actually live your life that way and not be distracted by other people's attacks or other people's bullshit. It just means if you know that it's wrong for somebody else to get hurt, then you know it's wrong for you to get hurt. It has nothing to do with yourself or them or anybody else. It has to do with what is right and what is wrong. And if it's wrong, then it shouldn't happen to anybody. And if it's right, then it should happen to everybody. That's what it comes down to. And, like I said, people are going to comment on the comment section, spouting their troll logic, their, insane rantings, and they're going to attack me because they don't want to understand that. They want to live in a world of dread and wariness and tyranny and moderators just dictating every single facet of their lives. They want the abusive relationships. They want the whores. They want the liars. They want the murder. They want the entropy. They want the meaninglessness of all of this. And that's why I say you're stupid and you're evil. Because you are. There's nothing to suggest otherwise. There's no evidence to suggest that you want something better. Not for me, not for you, but just in general. Just in general, that there be a higher standard of living. That there be a higher standard to live up to. That there is a higher meaning to life than simply finding someone and spending your time with them and getting to and marrying them and living in a nice neighborhood with a white picket fence and 2 kids and a dog or whatever. No, that's not what life is about. Life is about making things better than they were before. Life is about creation. Life is about discovery. Life is about a journey. It's about, wandering around and actually finding out more to it. Life is, I don't want to say an adventure. That sounds kind of fruity. But life is basically just taking it on as you go along. Life is transformation. Life is, taking what you have been through and taking those experiences and strengthening your resolve through them. Life is about just finding a deeper meaning, because let's face it, there really isn't much meaning when you look around you. So I don't look at someone cheating on me or anybody else as the most terrible thing that could possibly happen. I mean, it's bad, and it emotionally scars you, but I find that there are much more prevalent evils to worry about, moderators being the key point. So, I just don't worry about it. I don't waste my time looking down on the cheaters and the whores and things like that. I will point it out. I will point it out, how they're despicable, but it's not my concern. No, neither is it my concern they're victims, whether or not I feel sorry for them. And in some regards, I do feel sorry for them, and in some regards, I don't. I feel sorry for them because no one should have to go through that kind of pain, but I don't feel sorry for them because if I can figure it out, they can figure it out. So fucking figure it out. And, you know, pick yourself up and do something about it. So, I guess that's really all I have to say here, is that, you know, people are confused, ignorant, bewildered, and they want to be that way. Because if they didn't, they would find a way out. Even if it was something petty. I would prefer when people have a bad relationship, they get petty and violent and cruel, rather than just sit in a dark room and cry all day long. Because at least if they're doing something, even if it's negative, it's something. It's action. It's active. It's creating. It's doing something. It's fluctuating, you know, the orb that is our lives. There's life going on. That's what it's all about, activity. And to just give up, to just say that, well, bad shit happens, meh. No. No, that is no way to live. You're not living if you do that. You are already fucking dead. Don't tell me about how you're in so much pain and how you deserve what you got, and or, you know, and when you say that you just forgive them and look past it and move on with your life, what you're really saying is you gave up. Because I don't believe that for 1 second, that you simply forgive and forget, you know, c'est la vie. That's not how life works. No. You need to learn from that, and you need to use that pain and that displeasure and that sorrow as a weapon. You need to use that as a weapon on yourself, to arm yourself. You need to grow from that. You need to, you know, almost gain a new level in World of Warcraft, because, you know, that's an opportunity. That's an opportunity to see life in a new way, and to take advantage of that. You should take advantage of that person that hurt you. That person is a piece of shit. And, you know, like I said, the person themselves is not the point. The person themselves is relevant. It's the principle. And if you are that hurt and distraught about it, maybe you should be attacking that evil rather than forgiving and forgetting, rather than just moving on. Commit to something. Have something to actually live for. Even if that means being alone, even if that means being looked down on as the jerk ass of the world, even if that means, you know, being part of the dark side. That is what the dark side is. And the dark side does not necessarily mean the bad side. It does not mean the evil side. It means the honest side. It means that is what life actually is. It is dark. It is dreary. It is depressing. And you need to understand that, and you need to better yourself through that knowledge, through that cosmic truth, that your life is not really going to get better until, you know, you do something. I cannot guarantee you it will get better. I cannot guarantee you that tomorrow will be better than today. I cannot guarantee you that, you know, bad people will go to jail, and that, you know, there will be free healthcare, and that, you know, people will live longer, and there will be less hurtful people in the world, and, you know, I can't promise you those things. But I can promise you that when you're willing to look at that for what it is, when you're willing to gaze into the abyss will blink. The abyss does not have the fortitude to gaze into you as long as it would like to. So, I guess that's all I have to say.